everyone, I'm Chinelo Ogogor, your pop culture connoisseur, and welcome back to another episode. Wait, let's do that right. Welcome back to season 2 of Pop Roast. Now I know what you're thinking, Pop Roast looks a little different this time. Well, that's because it is. The studio got a whole makeover, mostly because the old setup was giving off heavy haunted house energy. Like the type of vibe where every single episode had to survive a boss battle just to get uploaded. But don't worry, nothing gets lost this season. We label everything now. And on top of that, we've got better sound quality, better framing, and we actually have our branding up this time. And the best part is, I finally found the light switch. Now, anyone can shine, whether they like it or not. This place used to feel like a room permanently stuck in 2007. You know, burnt coffee, broken dreams, an aura that honestly needed therapy. But the refresh isn't just about the walls or the lighting. We're bringing in a whole new crew. Yes, a whole new crew. Did I fire everybody? Did I get fired? We don't have to answer those questions. All I'm saying is, if you're looking for the most chaotic part-time job at USC, drop a comment, send in an application, and come ready to survive. I mean, ready to join Pop Roast's production team. It's chaotic, but in the best way. Come be a part of it. And speaking of new, I'm officially announcing a new show under this production called Off the Record. Think of it as Pop Roast's younger, unfiltered sibling. It's going to be long form, more personable. We're gonna go off script and have real conversations, talking about me and my experiences, what it's like being a student here at USC, diving deeper into internet culture, music, art, sports, philosophy, honestly, anything they let me yap about.
Hi everyone, welcome to Off the Record. Maybe you're here from Pop Roast, my other kind of short form segment, or maybe you're here from just, I don't know, scrolling on social media. Maybe you're one of my friends that I sent this podcast to. Maybe you're a hater and you're just a stalker and following me. And if you are, of course you're watching. Anyways.
Now, let's get into the episode. Today we're talking about Stranger Things. No, I'm not referring to the energy in the room, the actual show created by the Duffer Brothers. For those of you who've been living under a rock, Stranger Things is the massive Netflix sci-fi series that successfully weaponized nostalgia and single-handedly is bringing back the 1980s aesthetic. It's a story of a group of kids in Hawkins, Indiana, who spend their entire childhood fighting interdimensional monsters from a realm of the Upside Down. The first volume of the final season, season 5, just dropped and it broke every record in the book. It scored the biggest English language debut in Netflix history with nearly 60 million views in its first 5 days. The anticipation was so high, the sheer flood of people logging on actually caused the Netflix platform to temporarily freeze the moment of release. Here's my hot take. The strangest things about Stranger Things isn't the Upside Down, or the Mind Flayer, or Eleven's powers. The strangest thing is that the people of Hawkins, Indiana have lived through multiple level apocalyptic events, and they still have yet to file a class action lawsuit against the local government. I mean, their town has been repeatedly destroyed. The trauma is generational, and they're worried about blending in at school when they should be worried about their mortgages at this point. I think the real villain isn't Vecna, it's the Hawkins property value. But if you're following the plot, all roads in this final season lead back to Will Byers. After seasons of trauma, he's been the emotional compass, the forgotten member of the party, and the one connected to the Upside Down. At the end of volume 1, we got a huge reveal. Spoiler alert. Will finally unleashed his supernatural powers, confirming his deep connection to the villain, Vecna, and confirming that his bowl cut was the only thing holding him back. This definitely has to be an allusion to Harry Potter and his connection to Voldemort, especially because Vecna tried to tell him he was weak and easily broken, much like when Voldemort told Harry Potter, "You're just a boy." But the truth in both stories is that their supposed weakness, their connection to their pain, was a source of their ultimate power all along. Here's my hot take. The entire point of Will Byers' character arc is a metaphor for owning your truth. Vecna's entire strategy was to make Will doubt himself, but his pain was actually the key to his greatest strength. And I think we can take away from all of this is no one can define you or try to tell you who you are. He's a reminder that the truth you're terrified to own might be the very thing that saves you, and that what people try to tell you about yourself has nothing to do with who you are, and everything to do with their own fears, their own projections, and their own limitations. Will's journey proves that other people's definition can't hold you forever. Eventually, the world has to meet you where you are, not where they try to place you. Moving on to Wicked. As many know, Wicked is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz that's been dominating Broadway for over 2 decades. It's telling the untold story of 2 witches, Elphaba, the misunderstood one, and Glinda, the popular one, showing us how one becomes wicked and the other becomes good. It's a cultural touchpoint. I mean, the original stage show has grossed over $6 billion globally and is still packing theaters every night. And now we have the highly anticipated star-studded movie adaptation starring Cynthia as Elphaba and Ariana Grande as Glinda. Recently, Part 2, Wicked for Good, came out and opened to a record-breaking $150 million domestically and $226 million worldwide. Its opening weekend becoming the highest-grossing opening for a Broadway musical adaptation. However, box office momentum is falling as Discourse intensifies, proving that while audiences showed up in force opening weekend, the combination of bad word of mouth and mounting discussion is causing the film to plummet, much like Elphaba's flight path. It's been creating a lot of discourse online that's really giving the Wicked Witch of the East Bro energy.
Hold on! This is your favorite. Hold on! Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister? A princess! The Wicked Witch of the East, bro! I'm gonna stab him.
Here's my hot take, and the biggest takeaways I agree with from the political interventions of Wicked for Good online. Bach is an incel, Glinda is still a narcissist, and Elphaba, bless her heart, never stood a chance. She's also getting roasted for having main character syndrome.
But I just want to give you my thoughts about Wicked for Good, aka why Glinda is evil, aka why Bach should be exonerated of all charges. I saw a video that said Bach is an incel, and after watching the movie, I understand that some of you guys are not. You skipped English class, that's what I'll say. This comment says, Glinda, get behind me. Are you sure? She might stab you from back there. She has that tendency.
I just saw a video that said Bach needs to be exonerated of all charges, and I can't help but laugh because Bach got exactly what he deserved.
Bach hate. No, he's just sweet, and he's an incel.
I have a personal score to settle with the witch. Vic? And we take the Stacys and Chads down.
Is this like red pill stuff? I mean, I just listened to some Rogan and browsed some forums. Nothing wrong with that. Didn't you say you knew him?
And you know what, Nessa? You never should have been outside in a tornado looking for a man who doesn't want you anyways. You should have been in the house, but instead you got under a house. So that's on you.
Sorry, this diva deserved to die. When the house fell on her, I felt nothing. I was like, thank God. Like, that's what she gets for rolling around like that, looking for Bach, shut up.
And who he was feeling like?
And what was good with that ass lion? Like, you are mad that you were set free and you still flopped and couldn't do what a lion does? And that's supposed to be Elphaba's fault? Like, I get he's supposed to be like the cowardly lion, but he should really be called the raggedy lion because he looked a mess.
Here's my essay on why I know Glinda hates Elphaba's guts.
You will never catch me standing up for Glinda. Because Glinda, who has not made a single good decision, has continued to work in this fascist government, which clearly is a monarchy based around just the wizard. Glinda just moves on and she's like, oh, I'm good now. I have my buck. Did she read theory? And yes, I did say all this, and I still cried. I cried the entire way through. I hated it, but I will be watching it again, multiple times probably.
Did Glinda try to execute any inner work? Until she was forced to. By the death of her black friend, her green friend. Then the movie gonna end by her saying, fellow Ozians, I mean all Ozians. All of a sudden, here come all the animals. What? You mean to tell me they were halfway through the Underground Railroad? Underground Animal Road? And suddenly, a sweet white woman's voice pierced through everybody's mental? No, that didn't resonate with me. I didn't like that. We really did not confront how everybody was complacent, how everybody let the oppression slide because it wasn't affecting them. And what I did like, they came for the munchkins. She said, I'm gonna oppress y'all too. And that's real life. Y'all be thinking, oh, it's not gonna affect me. ICE ain't gonna affect me. Racism not gonna, it's gonna affect everybody who's not. Okay? You know what, Elphaba? I hope your pillow is always cool and soft and feels like a pillowy cloud. Glinda, you will never ever get a good night's rest. Mark my words.
Elphaba knows Glinda doesn't actually have powers, and she still left her in Hawkins to fight Vecna on her own.
The complaints are endless, and honestly, they're valid. Of course, these are just my takes, so I ventured out onto campus to see what USC students think about Stranger Things and Wicked. Okay guys, so I'm here with
William,
Madeline,
Emily,
Davia,
and Chip.
Okay, so what are your opinions on Stranger Things, the new season?
I like the plot a lot of the new season. I would say I thought in the beginning some of the writing was a little cringe, some of the lines, but overall I liked it a lot. I'm a little upset they brought back the sister because that wasn't my favorite episode from season 2, but I'm excited to see where it goes at the same time. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. I think it was, at first it was a bit like hard to follow just because the last one came out like 3 years ago. So, but I mean, it was really interesting. I enjoyed getting back into it. So, yeah.
What do you think about the end, Will's reveal?
I kind of liked it. I feel like he has like a good purpose now. You know, sometimes I feel like he got a little lost in his purpose, so I'm excited to see where he goes to with that.
So what are your opinions on Wicked Part 2? Did you see it? What did you think of it? Did you like it?
I liked it. I do feel like overall I like the first one better just because it has more of like the iconic songs from Wicked in it. But I still think it looked really good. And overall, yeah, I liked it a lot still.
Yes, I definitely enjoyed it. I think Wicked Part 1 was my favorite. I think this one, I think the way that they kind of tied the plots together and stuff, I was like, some things felt a little rushed. But I do think like it was a strong film. I do think that they're going to get an Oscar nomination this year. But I know that they're up against, I think, like Sinners, and I'm not sure either.
I think so, maybe.
Yeah.
Sinners was very good. I love Sinners.
Yeah, they have some tough, I'll just say they have tough competition this year. I do think Ariana and Cynthia, they did a great job. I'm hoping Cynthia wins the Oscar so she can get the EGOT.
I love Cynthia Erivo. I really hope she gets to win, yeah.
Same here. That's what I'm hoping for and looking forward to with this year's Academy Awards. But overall, I enjoyed it. I think Wicked 1 was like chef's kiss, and Part 2 was a great follow-up.
Do you think there's some online discourse about people saying Bach is an incel?
Bach is an incel.
Yeah.
Let me think. I don't know. I think Nessa treated him pretty like, I don't know. I think like locking him up and like making sure he couldn't leave, like that's pretty like crazy. So I think he gets sort of a pass, but he kind of like had his eye like only on Glinda when she didn't even like care about him. So like there is that like, yes, but like I kind of feel bad for him too.
Bach need therapy. All of them need therapy. The what's the sister's name? The governor? Nessa therapy. Like, girl, get your healing, and Bach needs some healing too. Yeah.
Okay, I agree. What do you think about, some people are saying that Glinda, her character arc, she didn't really turn for good.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? And what do you think about Glinda's character arc and what happened to Elphaba at the end, bless her heart?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I think Glinda is, okay, I think Wicked itself, Wicked is not just like this fantasy romance kind of thing. Wicked is also very political. I'm not gonna do too much, but I will say I think Glinda represents a lot of, I think, almost what they gave Glinda like a white savior complex in a way. And I feel like why did all of her friends and like classmates and like community members have to like die for her to quote unquote do the right thing? And did she actually do the right thing? Like, yeah, Wicked is very, it's romance, it's fantasy, but it's also political. And I think Glinda reflects a lot of people in our current time.
Yeah, I think she was like ultimately like acting in her best interest. Like she was friendly to Elphaba. The biggest connection for me is people who have the power to say something or be convincing, like Glinda choosing not to because of the image they want to maintain. I think if more people express themselves and like use their voice to like for good, I would say, then that would be, I think, beneficial to our like society, our like political like environment.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I'd be really excited to see the way that they portray Elphaba in this version, because the way that they ended part 1, I was really excited to have a character who basically describes a different like set of emotions, a different set of like portrayal of being different. And in this case, I found a lot of relation to it with neurodivergency. And there were certain scenes, like for example the roommate scene, that I had a lot of connections with in real life. And I think that the way that they portray neurodivergence, I'm very much hoping that in the second film they use it to make sure that, I'm hoping that the way that the directors put it, they'll be able to change that narrative and make it in a more positive light.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like this film is really for people who have felt isolated before. I've definitely connected with Elphaba in that realm, especially like racially and things like that. I think it's a really good cultural touch point. But what about your opinions? What do you think about this new version and things like that?
Yeah, no, I'm a total theater kid, so I definitely knew the musical before the movie. And honestly, like, even just before part 1 came out, I thought it was going to be really bad. Because usually there's just a lot of musical adaptations in the movies that I'm like, you totally showed this musical. But the first movie was great. I really enjoyed it. And then I have seen the second film, and I think it's still good. I think the first part was better, but I'm very interested in the acting choices that they made in the second film. For example, I think Glinda is a way more interesting character in the film. The fact that she sings Wonderful with the Wizard, it puts more weight on her shoulders. It makes her more accountable for what's going on in Oz, which I think is definitely an interesting choice. Because I think in the musical, she's not as built out, and so it feels like at the end, she hasn't changed enough, or at least I felt that way. And so I like that she's more responsible for what's happening, so she has more opportunity to grow. I also like the fact that they emphasized the animals more in the second movie. In the musical, by Act 2, they basically forget all of it to just focus on Elphaba and Fiyero. And so I think the message, especially what's happening right now in our political systems in America, the fact that they focused on Nessa Rose more, the fact that they focused on the animals more, is far more interesting, because I don't think people really care about Fiyero that much. Let the lesbians kiss. Yeah.
What do you think about the acting choices, like with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo? Do you think they did a good job with that?
I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, Cynthia, I knew was going to do amazing. Oh my god, she's insane. I remember when the videos and the clips of her singing I'm Here from The Color Purple came out, actual chills. Oh my god, Cynthia's amazing. I'm obsessed with her. And Ariana, I didn't think was going to do well. I thought she was going to be pop starry. I thought it was just a name brand. But I was very pleasantly surprised with how she did. I mean, I don't think it was a perfect performance, but I think she treated the character very well. I really liked her interpretation of it. I was also surprised she sung very well. I mean, obviously she's a singer, but, it's two different types of singing, musical theater and the pop genre. And I remember watching the clip of her getting accepted the role. She started crying and she said, I'm gonna treat her so well. I was like, okay, she knows this character, she's gonna treat it well, and I think she did.
What do you think about Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo during the press tour? Many people are saying that is there something wrong with them? Why are they crying all the time? Is this just a theater kid thing?
Watching this Wicked press tour is like watching two women that were abducted come into society for the first time.
Do you ladies need anything before we begin?
We just need to be here.
Oh, but you're already here.
No. We need to be here. Here, 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 here. Are you here?
Someone could like sneeze and like Ariana would start crying and Cynthia would start like breastfeeding her.
So what was it like working on the Wicked set?
No!
Oh, sorry. Sorry, did I say something wrong? Is everything okay?
I can't.
And I really think like we need to start looking into conspiracies about like the Wicked producers holding them captive in a dungeon.
I know damn well that ain't Glinda singing with my kidnapper. Help! I need to use the bathroom!
That's a theater kid thing. Okay. That's an absolute theater kid thing. The people who are going crazy over how they're acting on the press tour did not see the original cast of Wicked. They literally kissed at the Tonys. They kissed on the lips multiple times. Like, yes, it's extra, it's a lot, but like, theater does things to you, especially in a role like Elphaba and Glinda. I mean, it's very funny to me. Of course it's funny. But like every single duo that has been Elphaba and Glinda, it just happens. Yeah. It's something about those characters. It just happens.
Yeah, I was thinking like, of course they're gonna go crazy. Like they've been filming in this reconstructed world. Of course, any theater kid would go crazy after that, you know.
They have so much ability too within their role to like portray more of their like inner like thoughts and stuff like that. And a lot of roles that you get, you don't have as much ability to like work with the character and fit it to their own personalities. And I think one thing that Ariana and Cynthia did really well is that they didn't just take the character and play the character. They took the character and meshed it with what relates to them. And I think that's what they did really well, like in the actual movie.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so glad like you guys are very passionate about like theater. I love that. Thank you so much. Oh, okay, awesome. These are definitely conversations worth having. Be sure to tell us what you think about Stranger Things and your wicked opinions. Get it? Wicked opinions? Anyways, also, don't forget, if you want to be a part of the production team and you're looking for a creative outlet, send in an application and get in contact with us. See you guys next time on Pop Roast. There's a lot coming your way, so get ready. Until next time, I'm Chinelo, and I'll see you in the next episode.